Greetings, wanderers of the wastes. I am your host, the narrator, a malefic entity dwelling in a vast and miserable grotto at the centre of the multiverse. I've taken mortals from your dimension, Ludonauts, and will subject them to sessions of the role-playing game Mork Borg by Pell Nilsson. Our tale begins in the realm of Sarkash, deep in the bowels of the palace of the Shadow King, a vast and possibly ancient citadel carved into the living rock of the mountainside. In the lowest dungeons, where there is no light, or hope, or pity, we find three individuals, shackled by their ankles to the cold, damp stone, condemned to die. But who are they? And what crimes have they committed to be imprisoned here?
My name is Robin, and I am playing Vatar Makari, who is an egocentric with massive debt, with a stress response to dress as fancily as possible, and has been caught breaking and entering into various crypts and tombs to steal the fine fabrics and jewels of the Shadow King's honoured ancestors.
Hello, I'm Craig, and I'll be playing Swind Bellum, a suspicious lobster-gripped fellow with blade OCD, who's at permanent war with Corvids, and has been imprisoned in the Shadow King's dungeons for killing 333 crows.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm playing Gotvin the Golden, a conflicted, hauntingly beautiful nihilist escaped cultist, and he has been sent to the Shadow King's dungeons for robbing a minor baron on the highway.
So, we see our three heroes chained by the ankles to the walls in a fairly small cell. There is one other occupant of the cell, an older man, who you suspect has been dead the whole time you've been there. He's not said anything at all, and the smell is not great. So there's the wall you're chained to, two walls either side, and the wall facing you is rusty metal bars. You can look across, you can see another group of unfortunates also in the same situation, chained up. Your only other human, if you can call it that, contact has been your jailer. The warden is a lumping, dog-faced looking guy. This individual clearly has canine DNA somewhere. He's got a big drooly muzzle and sort of floppy ears, and he sort of patters about muttering obscene things to himself. He won't talk to you directly, he'll just every so often slam a big pot of mush through the door, and the three of you have to sort of scamper and fight each other for it, really, because there's never enough. You're ravenously hungry. You don't even know how long you've been there, and at this point you think you would welcome the gallows or the guillotine.
Do we have all of our equipment that is on our sheets?
No, you're dressed in rags.
Rags, you say?
More or less rags.
Like in striped rags, or?
More like sackcloth.
Okay.
This is the one time we were being instructed that you're wearing sackcloth and you're pushing back against it. You're just unpleasable.
Swind isn't necessarily into that kind of thing.
All your fancy clothes got taken off you when you got brought here.
And presumably put in a room nearby.
You don't know.
We don't know, but we can assume.
Your three beloved monkeys ran off as well.
Yeah.
So you don't know where they are.
That is a concern.
How much mobility do we have, given that our ankles are chained?
You've got about 2 or 3 foot. You can get almost to the door where this tray of slop is distributed through a little hatch on the ground. But that's about it, really. You've got a couple of feet either way.
Godwin.
Yes?
You're closest. Give the old girl a shove. Prod him. Godwin. Prod him.
Touch the old man,
Touch the old man, Godwin.
Alright, I suppose. I'll attempt to, lean over with as much mobility as I'm allowed from my shackles and slap the potentially corpse.
He doesn't really move much. A certain amount of rigor mortis is set in.
He is dead.
Fantastic. Drag him over here. I'm starving. It's been ages since the mush.
I'll try to.
You're just
So
about
it's
to
come
start.
to this.
Oh, they only caught me taking the clothes off the corpses. Come on, bring.
There's a sharp banging sound on the cell door, and you see the looming figure of Emperor, your jailer. That's his name. Behave! Behave! Visitors! Visitors coming! Behave!
Visitors.
And he turns around and he starts banging on the cage opposite.
Svind, we're having visitors.
Dinner and visitors.
Visitors.
It's quite a nice day.
Only bad things can come of this.
You can hear footsteps from further up the corridor and a sort of jingling of bells. and standing in front of you is a curious figure dressed in gaudy but faded robes, which are hung over with bells. And you can see that the top half of her face is literally just a sheet of metal hammered into it, covering like her eyes and nose. It's had symbols or runes of some sort carved into it, but you can't see her eyes.
I'll place my hands together in a pose of prayer and bow, and I'll say, "What brings you to our lair of hell, good lady?"
She doesn't respond. You see that with her there are a couple of guards, boys really, no more than maybe 15 or 16, dressed in armour that's in poor condition. Certainly it's rusty, but it bears the livery of the Shadow King. And with him as well there's an older man in slightly better looking equipment. He looks maybe in his late 40s. He looks tired. He's got a grey hair and a neatly trimmed moustache.
Did the crows send you?
He just disregards you.
They did.
He says to the woman, "Well, we're here. Is this what you saw?" And she begins sort of capering madly, and her bells start jingling.
The accursed den where shadows creep, the princeling lies in dreamless sleep. No knight's bright blade nor noble pen can break the curse of that dark glen. 3 marked for death must tread the deep, the thief, the liar, the killer steeped. Through paths of fire and choking breath they walk the jaws of hungering death. For in the depths where darkness feeds, a beast of old awaits their deeds. Should one betray, all hope will rend, for none escape the den's black end.
The older man says, "Right, aye, very good. Which ones is it you want?" And she sort of swirls round. And despite having no eyes that you can see, all three of you can feel a cold gaze of some sort fall upon you. And she points at Svind.
This one, take him.
Always lovely knowing you, Svind.
Well, yeah, it's been a lovely 15 years or however long it's been.
And then she points at Gotvind.
Yes! This one, I saw him in my vision also. Take him.
Ah, well.
More mush for me.
And then she points with her finger towards the old dead man.
And this one, I saw him in my dream too. He will save the princeling.
He was marked for death. She isn't incorrect.
He will save very little now.
The older man says, I think that one's already dead.
Oh, take that one then.
And she points at Vatar.
Oh no, come on. He's just sleeping. He's just resting. He's just quiet.
He's pining for the fjords.
Oh, all right then. If it's insisted upon.
The younger guards enter the cell and sort of hoist you up roughly by the shoulders. Your chains are unlocked from the walls, but you're still chained to each other. You're taken upstairs through winding and twisting passageways of the Shadow King's palace. You would be completely lost. This place is an absolute maze. You're taken into a small courtyard. The walls are so incredibly high that you think that this courtyard has never seen the sun, or very rarely. It's damp, dank, mossy. The guards strip you of your clothing and pour buckets of icy cold water over you to sort of delouse you as best they can.
Bracing.
It's certainly bracing. You're stood there, shivering, naked.
Hardly a change.
And the older man, who you assume to be some sort of captain, comes out and speaks to you. Says, "Well, you're a sorry trio, aren't you?
We are indeed.
But this might be your lucky day. Or then again, it might not.
You're cheery.
Well, 20 years in this profession will take most of the cheer out of you, put it that way.
20 years in any profession will take most of the cheer out of you.
Sharing a cell with you, Goffin, has been exhausting.
I just wanted to eat that guy.
Yeah.
Now I'm cold and wet.
You said it was bracing earlier.
It's in my bones now.
It is seeping in.
It's seeped.
I am in the early stages of hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Captain Creel. I am in charge of the Shadow King's guards. We have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
So the Shadow King's one true heir, Alden, he's missing. He's gone missing. He's been missing for a couple of weeks now. And if he doesn't turn up, should the Shadow King is not in the best of health, his idiot brother will take the throne. Obviously, this can't be allowed to happen. Thankfully, you've met Angraboda there, the seeress. She has a vision of where the princeling is to be found. In her vision, she has said that only men doomed to die may save the princeling. That's fine with me. Frankly, you three are completely expendable. So, it's not a question of do you accept because you don't have much choice, really. Or I can stick you back in the cell. It's all one to me.
I'm as well dying in battle as I am in a box.
Do we have to do this nude?
No, that would be unsporting.
I'm into it then.
Of course, there's very little choice in the matter. And they're not going to get far with that, mate, are they?
Right, that's fine. Guards, bring them their stuff. He calls to some servants dressed in the livery of the Shadow King. You're given some rough towels to dry off, and from a chest is produced all your belongings, whatever that they'd taken off you when you were brought in here.
Including my now empty sack, formerly full of the
donkey.
No, it's formerly full of all the jewels and fine clothing from the corpses of the honoured ancestors.
Yeah, jewels and corpse clothing are not provided back to you, no. They weren't really technically yours to begin with.
Finders keepers, and I found and I was keeping.
What of my monkeys?
So you quickly dry yourselves off and don your apparel.
Gotvin clothes himself in a heavy, bulky armour, concealing his dancer-like form in like a very heavy face-covering helmet and armour that makes him completely unrecognisable. The armour also basically acts as a disguise.
Mm-hmm. And what does Svind look like?
Swind has long, disgusting black hair.
Like matted.
Matted, woolen, very warming. That's not been taken care of in the amount of time we've been imprisoned. I'll get dressed. I'll put on my heavy armour that is very wide, quite short, but quite wide heavy armour. Quite a big target to hit. And I'll sort of clank after you.
And Vatar does not put on some heavy armour. Vatar instead puts on his equipped sneaking clothes, which looks like a full Elizabethan wardrobe all at once. He's got a ruff, it's got a doublet, it's made from not fine silks. Cool,
Are there hose?
Vatar gets plenty. Yeah, no, he's got hose. There's no codpiece. The codpiece has been absconded with.
No cod.
No cod. No. Presumably I'll get that on my safe return.
Cordless.
What an embarrassment.
Yep, and
Codless.
Cordless. He's got a huge, gaudy sash around the waist that he's got a massive sabre stuck through.
We'll find your prince, and for extra we'll kill him too.
Or we'll die.
Yes.
Those are the only two options.
To be honest, fellows, I think this is very much a fool's errand, but,
And we're fools doing the errand.
At the end of the day, we don't lose anything from this.
I also am armed with a bow and a crowbar.
Mm-hmm. The three of you are still chained together at this point.
Okay. That would be difficult to put the armour on.
They probably... I don't know, they would probably...
They keep taking it off and then putting it back on.
Yeah, they've rechained you. You're taken again through the twisting and ancient whispering halls of the Shadow King's palace. And outside, where they have a cart waiting, but it's one of these carts, it's got the cage built in the back.
Oh, yes.
So it's clear they've considered the prospect of the three of you absconding.
We're going to have to do the whole quest chained together.
No, that would be...
We could just be back to back, we'll cover it all angles. So we're outside now.
You're outside now, and you can see there's a thick mist, but you can see that you're at the foot of the mountains. That basically the palace of the Shadow King is a massive citadel, and it's carved into the whole side of a sort of massive black mountain. And you're more or less at the foot of that, and you're in the area called Graven Tosk, which is an enormous graveyard. Now it's misty, you can't see that far ahead, but basically as far as you can see, it's all sort of black tombstones sticking up out the earth like rotten teeth.
Forest of graves.
Yep, any names on them, they've been long since worn away. Whoever's buried there, that's lost to time. But it's certainly a bleak scene.
There could be any number of crows in this mist. We should be careful. We should be suspicious. If anybody has any crossbows, you should be firing just bolts randomly into the sky. We don't know when they'll strike, if they'll strike, and how hard they'll strike.
It's not really the crows that I'm worrying about, but I do largely agree.
I'm glad that you agree.
I hope I get killed in battle. So I just don't have to hear this anymore.
You will.
The three of you are huckled into the back of the cage, and you form and you join a procession. There's 3 or 4 guards on horseback, and you can see the masked CRS is on a mule at the head of the procession. Before you set off though, there's a sort of chittering and a sort of scrabbling sound, and 3 small hairy forms come sort of skittering down the wall and throw themselves on top of the cage and in, and wrap themselves around Swind.
My boys!
They seem pleased to see you.
I have missed you. How many kills?
One of them's clutching a handful of black feathers.
Good boys.
Ah, your pets.
They're not that's a gross overstatement? Understatement? These are the finest crow-killing monkeys money can buy.
Well, I'm glad of their company. I thought you were getting your wish, Avatar.
That's by monkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still die by the monkeys if you want. They could stab you with the crow feathers, like just in and about your various bits.
No, Svind. That's I think I'm touched by the concern. I think I'm deeply concerned by the by the concern.
We'll keep it on the back burner for you if you want.
The back is the burner, please.
The procession heads off at a fairly stately pace, and soon the great entrance to the Shadow King's palace is behind you, and you're riding just through the mist with the gravestones, larger tombs and mausoleums, columbariums, various sort of larger obelisks, memorial urns. It's all there, all old, worn down, covered over by moss.
All the faces and all the statues have been worn away.
Yeah, absolutely. This place is beyond ancient. But you know this is a vast area. You know there are actually towns in the middle of this graveyard as well. But you've no idea where you're heading. Every so often, Angraboda, the CRS, will stop for a second and then point, and there'll be a slight direction change, and your procession will head off in a different direction for a little while.
Here we are, back out in the open, unprotected, off to do the bidding of some other great man, a different one this time. Oh well.
There's a cawing of crows somewhere in the mist.
Bastards! I told you!
You can't see them though, but you know they're out there somewhere.
Exactly, narrator god.
Guards! I think Svind is going crazy.
Going?
So now seems as good a time as any for me as the narrator to roll on the calendar of Necrobill to see if a misery occurs. This is a world, after all, that's on the cusp of ending.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Not today. Eventually, you come to what seems to be like a large rocky outcropping with an actual entranceway to a tomb has been carved into it. Somebody's gone really to town on carving. It's like 2 big columns of skulls and an ominous looking black wooden door in the centre, but as I said, it's ancient, it's all overgrown. You can barely really make out any of the actual artistry of the columns or anything like that. The door looks like it would be impenetrable, but it is standing slightly ajar.
This is a place I saw in my vision. This is a place where the 3 condemned men shall find the princeling.
Okay.
How far have we travelled from the castle, the palace?
You're not sure, maybe about 10, 15 miles. It's hard to gauge because you've not been going that fast and you'll be going through the mist.
Maybe turning different directions. It's not a straight line.
You've not really been following a road. You've just been trundling over the ground, and you have to make your way around any particularly large graves, any large mausoleums and stuff, or any areas where perhaps the ground's fallen in. So it's not been a straight line.
Well, if you release us, I will try.
I just want to get, below ground, inside, out of this open sky.
Away from prying eyes.
Yes, and beaks.
It is the beaks that prize the most.
The cage door is opened with a clunk. The guards gesture for you to come out.
Okay.
I do.
We do.
Clank down.
The woman comes up to you.
This is where I believe the princeling will be found. I saw it in my vision. I saw many things in my vision.
Oh, like what?
I fear that the prince may not be willing to leave here.
It does look quite a nice place, to be honest.
Do you know what it is? It's the columns. It's tasteful.
Classy.
It's symmetry. You have one big pile of skulls and two big piles of skulls. It's classy. I would want to stay here.
What else do you see?
The lamps. Yes. The lamps burn red. The lamp oil is touched with human blood.
I guess that makes sense. There's a lot of it in the graveyard.
Doesn't burn very well.
It doesn't burn very well, but it's effective, evidently, for like the mood lighting.
I imagine it smells awful, actually.
What, bloody lamps?
Yeah.
I enjoy blood.
Do you enjoy the way it smells when you burn it, though?
I can't say I ever have, but I'm excited to find out. Are you alright? You having a good night?
It will be better once the princeling is returned to us, and we can all rest easily in our beds once more.
Oh, you have been sleeping in the beds. That's very nice. Haha, I have been sleeping on the cold ground.
If the prince doesn't want to return, how are we to convince him?
He's only a small boy.
Don't worry, we understand. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We'll batter him.
Do we have, like, a level of collateral harm we're willing to accept? How many limbs does he really need to be princeling?
Bring him back intact, but I don't know. Certainly you can rough him up a bit if he doesn't want to come.
That's all we need to hear. Don't worry.
This guard captain's the best.
Don't you worry, I have a sack perfectly shaped for roughly one child. Or many piles of corpse clothing. Many piles of corpse clothing.
Oh, we're going into two.
We are.
You're going to get a lot of corpse clothes. Like, as many corpse clothes as you can carry.
Vata's eyes sort of bug out a bit. His resting face is... if you've ever seen like Willem Dafoe, like paused freeze frame, it's a little bit like that. It's a really uncomfortable energy he brings to the scene. He's got a really thin moustache that he's sort of waxed outwards.
It's the love child of William Dafoe and Klaus Kinski.
There's no love involved in that union.
Hate child.
The hate child of Klaus Kinski and Willem Dafoe.
She gestures towards the open door.
I will throw one of the monkeys inside.
It scampers in.
And another one. And another one.
They both go in.
I'll
They sort of poke their little heads out round the side.
Seems alright, lads.
First, Herr Captain, the chains on our ankles. Could we have them unchained from our ankles?
Well, I suppose it was only sporting, isn't it?
But there's a difference between sporting and getting this shit done, Herr Captain. Like, oh yeah, oh the world is doomed. Oh, these things are happening. Do you want the princeling back or do you not?
He
want
gives-
I
the
think
he
he's saying that it would be sporting to allow us to have our legs free.
I mean, look, we can die chained together. That's easy. I can die right here, right now.
One of the guards unchains you.
Fantastic. We all do the obligatory robbing the bit with the ankle,
Yeah,
where the manacle has been.
It's sore.
I don't because I'm fully armoured in heavy armour, so they just clamped it around some other metal. So I'm fine.
I'd like to imagine you were in the cage in your heavy armour.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, you were all geared up in the cage though.
No, I was thinking like when we were arrested, like, oh, we're in our rags. And they just couldn't prize you out like a lobster.
Like it's like an Iron Mask situation. I'll walk over to the entrance to this cave. How can I see anything within the cave?
Are you going to look in the door?
Yeah.
It seems to be a sort of rough cavern entrance, but it's lit up. There's an oil lantern hanging from the ceiling that's burning normal light, normal oil lamp light. It's
Not red light.
Not red light. There doesn't seem to be, as far as you can aware, any blood involvement, and you can see roughly carved stairs leading down.
Okay.
So the oil lantern that's on the ceiling, can that be taken? Or is that...
I have a lantern.
Oh, you've got a lantern?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thinking I'll save my oil.
Yeah.
You can see perfectly clearly at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, well,
This is clearly a lived-in cave. Like
It does look quite nice.
like the carvings seem recent. The oil lanterns are lit.
okay.
I've been in worse, like, pits.
Yeah, the one we just came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so one of you two is going first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I will huddle into a little ball and roll down the stairs.
You are going to get yourself killed immediately.
Or kill the thing I run into because I'm fully armoured. Armadillo up.
Like a pill bug.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Godwin, would you mind going like in front of me and behind our soon-to-be dead friend?
Very well.
He rolls like the ball.
I roll.
He rolls like the ball.
I roll well. I want it known.
It's fairly steep stairs carved into the stone. This is going to hurt if you pursue this course of action.
Okay.
I'm fine with it because it also seems a bit like Dark Souls, where you just roll into everything.
Also, Perhaps worth bringing up that doing that would also make a lot of noise.
Yes, I was hoping for that. I will attempt to do that, but be sore because I'm not stretched because I've been in a small cage for many indeterminate months and or years. And I'll be like, oh, my back!
Okay, you sort of ungainly sort of flop down these fairly steep carved stairs.
Hey guys, do you want to play Mork Borg? It's a bit of a darker tone. I don't know if you'll be able to fit right into it. Don't you worry, narrator. We'll be able to commit to a darker tone, no problem. That's why I left the cod piece behind, and I brought it with me if I thought we were going to be like this.
I will proceed down the stairs with my bow ready.
You seem to be in some sort of small natural cave. There's a very sort of stale smell. There's another lit oil lantern hanging from the ceiling, and you can see that there's a small stream of water that crosses the room from holes either side of the wall, just crossing the length of the room. In the door ahead of you, so let's call that the north wall, there's two wooden doors that are both ajar, and you can hear very faint like violin music.
For both?
More or less from both doors. You're not sure quite where it's coming from.
A violin, like a princeling might play.
So not a set of double doors which are ajar.
No, there's two doors, so one on the left, one on the right.
Okay.
Any other doors?
No, just the one where you came in. And there's small, dark violet butterflies flapping around, some sort of cave species, perhaps.
How many of them?
Oh, you couldn't count them, but not lots, maybe about 20 or 30.
That seems like that's more butterflies than I'm used to seeing.
It's a
in
fair
caves.
lot. They seem to be... You notice a lot of them seem to be drinking from the little stream.
I'll have a look at this little stream. This seems suspicious. Does it smell strange?
It smells slightly stale, but again, it's an old cave. You know, you would expect it to smell somewhat damp. The faraway wall is brick, though. It's been added to.
I will unlatch and raise my visor on my helm, and I'll take my gauntleted finger, dab it in the water, and taste it.
Is it pure?
It doesn't taste particularly great, but you don't think it's poisonous or anything like
It doesn't
that.
taste sweet or anything.
It doesn't taste sweet. There's nothing particularly. It's just sort of slightly dank cave water.
Do I have like a water skin? Because I'm now thinking about how I've been living in a dungeon for God knows how long, and I probably want a good drink.
You were probably given some food and some water skins and stuff.
I definitely have a water skin.
Good. Well, I'll fill one up with the cave water.
Yeah, I also have a water skin. I'll do that. I will push my head around the left door.
You can see that this is a larger hall, perhaps some sort of dining hall. It's warm and bright. You can hear the violin music's very slightly louder here. You can see there's a very large, long wooden table. There's maybe 20 chairs, and it's been set for a meal, but there's no food on it. At the far end of the table, there's an old bearded man. He's got like ash grey skin, dark eyes, and he's wearing a dusty old cloak. There's two doors leading out of the room. One more or less straight ahead to the north, and one on the eastern wall as well.
I suppose if we're going in here, I'll announce myself to the old man and I'll say, "Greetings, old friend. We are here given a quest to locate a prince."
He doesn't respond at all.
What is it with old men and being dead?
Just a casual link.
Svind is going through the process of like ancient Greek philosophy, like piecing together like information to create the beginnings of science. Okay, well.
Cautiously, first of all, let's look around this room and see if there's anything that could have killed him. Is there?
He's alive.
Oh, he's alive.
He's alive. He just doesn't respond.
Well, we should just pay him no mind and go either straight ahead or to the east.
He's covered in a layer of dust, which suggests that he's been sitting there for some time.
Okay, I will cautiously approach him.
He doesn't seem to respond. He's got a big old white beard and like a cowl.
I'll wave my hand in front of his face.
No response.
I will pick up... There's plates and things, but no
There's
food.
plates, no food.
I'll pick up a plate, drop it to the floor, smashing it,
Smashes,
and I'll shout, "The things that you value have no worth!"
I'm legally not associated with this man.
I don't know what he values, but I'm just trying to razz him.
He doesn't respond at all.
Okay.
Fantastic. Can we go into a different room now before one of us gets us all killed?
So there's a room on the western wall and one ahead of you, more or less, in the north corner of the room.
I will leave our friend 2 silver pieces that I apparently have, and I will say, "An offering, sir, for the plate."
He doesn't respond. He doesn't
No.
do anything.
I'll follow them out and just like run my hand down the table, like dropping mini plates.
There's a sort of loud clattering sound echoing everywhere of broken plates.
Not like looking at the table and the plates, just looking at him directly in his dusty eyes.
He doesn't respond at all.
I didn't think he would, but you know.
It's quite a loud noise you've made there.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, what's the geography of the room?
It's a more or less square room, and in the north corner, on the left-hand side of that wall, there's a door, and on the eastern wall, there's a door as well.
That's the one we came in through.
No. You came in through the southern one.
Shall we continue heading further into the cave, or do you want to try the other door in the entrance hall?
This seems more like a constructed. It seems more constructed now. It's brick walls rather than cavern walls.
I vote northwards.
None of it matters, it'll all end the same.
Okay, I understand that's like your worldview. Have you considered that's not great problem-solving skills, Godwin? At least I actually got caught in the act. And that's why I was in jail. I don't know what on earth you were doing, but I'm beginning to think you didn't plan it properly.
I was trying to eat.
Svind,
Yes.
hands where I can see them at all times. By the basilisk, if you make another loud noise, I will kill you myself.
No one told us to be quiet.
Okay, I'm telling you now.
Okay.
Capiche? Zip buttons. Because zips have not been invented.
Lace up those lips.
You have to button a lip severely for it to make no noise. I'm not saying you should try, I'm just saying.
This is a world of Mork Borg, my friend. I'm willing to button my lips as severely as I can.
I just think that old man was disrespecting us.
I think you disrespected him even harder.
I think we're a radical young bunch. Like a lovely three-piece coming in here. I think we deserve a little hello. Just because he's dusty and probably some sort of spectre doesn't mean he can't say hello.
He didn't appear to be dead.
No, but he's dusty.
Strange one.
We'll get him on the way out.
Let's go through the north door.
You go through this door, and again the violin music seems to get slightly louder, like you're slightly closer to the source of it.
Do we recognise the musical piece at all?
It's
Cultured men that we are.
No, it's more a sort of consistent droning, really, of...
But like it's a sustained...
It's a child learning.
It's more than one instrument playing, but you're in a dark corridor. You can see further down at the end of the corridor, there's no door, it opens up just into a room, and that room seems lit. You can see the light from that room, but the corridor itself is quite dark. You can make out that there are some paintings on the walls.
I will actually light my lantern here, and we'll have a look at the lanterns. Not lanterns, at the paintings.
Do you want to... Who has the highest presence?
Certainly not myself.
I've got +3.
Well, it's you then. At mine 0. Present.
Give me the bow.
Maybe I should, but I don't have any other weaponry.
I'll swap these. You can have my sword. I'll take your bow.
Okay.
I don't have any armor on.
I mean, my strength isn't very much better than my presence.
I have +0.
Well, same.
Yeah, but you're wearing armor.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I have... So what am I rolling? Presence?
Presence, you're wanting 14 or higher.
Which I did not get.
What did you get though?
I got 12.
That's
plus
your thing.
No, I'm including.
Oh, including that, okay.
Yeah.
Can we all try, or is it like just the highest one?
Are we swapping weapons?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, cool.
What kind of sword have you got?
It's like a big Polish saber.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no handguard, but it's a D6.
Okay, you're all going to go off and have a wee look at the paintings then?
Certainly.
Yeah, I would try to. So was the presence for looking at the paintings, or was that for lighting the lantern? Okay.
Find out in a second what it's for.
If we succeeded, I'm sure we'd have found out, yeah. Okay, now I have a bow. He's got a sword.
You'll probably want these arrows as well.
I've
Doesn't
got...
work very well without them.
Okay. You're standing halfway down the corridor looking at, there's a series of paintings. Now, the three of you aren't particular appreciators of art, but even to your eyes they seem quite bland, just fairly generic sort of pretty landscapes.
Like,
Given that this is Mork Borg, though, is like the generic landscape, horrific marshlands with like crucifixes
they're
going
just very bland.
out. Yeah.
Well, this would be nice. I don't think we'd taken some culture or a trip into the pit.
Is there anything else hidden on the walls or floor that the light reveals?
What are you going to do? Are you
I'm going to look at the walls and floor.
you're just going to look at the walls and floor?
Just
Yeah.
gonna look at them with your human
Okay,
eyes.
take a make a presence roll.
okay.
3.
Are you just looking?
Yeah, well, like, inspect... I'm very D&D brains, because I'm using D20s. I'm expecting there to be traps. I'm going to inspect...
Describe what Gotvin does.
What Gotvin does is, now that the light's there, he's going to, before moving into any new area, or moving his feet at all, he's going to look, like, in every individual place where he steps before he steps there.
Uh-huh.
He's also going to take a sweeping view of what's on the walls and ceiling.
Okay. You don't see anything beyond what I've described to you already.
Okay. In that case, I will take my new sword and approach the room at the end of the hall.
You head down the corridor and you find yourself in a smallish room. There's 3 oil lamps hanging from the ceiling, and there's a sort of smell of sulphur. Again, the violin music's loud.
I presume the colour of the lamps is regular.
Regular coloured lamps.
Is the sulphur smell coming from the lamps?
No. In the middle of the room is a large, it's like a massive black dog. It's like some sort of shaggy mongrel looking creature. It's covered in oily fur. It sort of looks up. It was sitting resting, but when it sees you, it gets up and immediately its hackles rise and it sort of lunges towards you.
Oh goody. Tongue!
Two
arms!
So the dog lunges towards Gotvind. You want to roll?
Oh yes, I roll agility, don't I?
Agility. Are you looking for 12 or above?
Yeah, no, that is an 8.
Even with your pluses?
Yeah.
Yep.
The dog clamps its fanged mouth around your thigh and you take 1 point of damage. Which
So I've rolled the
so
damage
you roll,
dice.
You roll a damage dice roll that for your armour.
I'm assuming because, like, 1 is the lowest I could roll, does that mean I'm always going to take no damage?
Yeah.
I'll roll anyway. I super take no damage, I got a 6.
This mongrel creature clamps its jaws around your thigh, but nothing penetrates through to your skin, such as the thickness of your armour. Okay, between you 3, you can decide who goes first.
Well, given that I have the dog clamped on my leg, I feel like I should go first and drive this sword point through it.
Yep, so your strength.
The dice roll.
16.
Is that 16? Oh, very good, yes.
Okay, you bring your sword down,
6 damage.
you smash into its head and it recoils back. It's got a nasty, really nasty looking wound that you don't think it's going to recover from, but it is still on the go.
Yourself? Is this? Do you want to go to kill this innocent animal creature that has done us no wrong?
It's done me some wrong.
It's done us no wrong.
I'm absolutely not taking that from the cycle who would always be screaming about ravens in the middle of the night.
Crows!
Any.
Core, yeah.
The magpie bastards! I will kill all
You
them.
do not know what they've done. You don't know what they've taken. I'm not getting into it now. Go kill your dog.
They're literally called a murder.
I will shoot an arrow at the dog. An 18.
Okay, don't bother rolling.
Just walk up behind it and put it down like a cattle.
Yeah, it's staggering back, it's dazed from the blow in the head that Gotvin gave it, and you basically just launch an arrow straight through its eye into its brain, and it lies down dead.
Now, not to be pernickety, is there any chance I could get that arrow back?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Lads, should we cook and eat this dog?
Probably.
Yeah.
Skin it first, though.
Yeah.
Does the dog smell of sulphur?
No, it's just an ordinary dog.
It's very
So-
oily, you said. There.
Yeah, well, it's covered in oil. Possibly, you suspect it's been either bathing or drinking from... There's a strange-looking sort of pump in the middle of the room. There's a rusty, muddy-coloured fluid. Imagine like a freestanding black metal pump with a handle on it and a small stone basin for collecting the fluid. There's a sort of thin layer of sort of orange, scummy liquid already collected in the basin, and there's a sort of slow dripping from the tap bit of the pump. The tap itself is sculpted like some sort of gargoyle's head. To the east, there's a hole in the wall.
Okay.
You mean like a charming little pub?
No, like a
More
gap in the wall, maybe head-sized.
Well, someone should keep an eye on that hole in case another dog doesn't poke out. Whilst and I'm not a chef. I've never done it before, but I'm going to attempt to skin this dog because you told me to.
We don't need to do it now.
We can do it.
We can do it.
I'm going to do it right now because I'm hungry. We had some slop that we fought over this morning.
You were given some like hard biscuits and salted meat and things on the journey, so you're not quite at the dog eating stage.
This will waste some time.
Well, I mean, it's either that or we drag the dog with us.
No. We come back around after.
What if that old man comes in and nibbles on it?
So I want to inspect this fluid. Is this what smells of sulphur?
No.
What smells of sulphur in here?
We're just...
It seems to be coming more from the direction of that hole in the wall, as does the violin music.
Godwin,
Yes?
put your head in the hole.
No, I'll put my sword in the hole.
Nothing happens. Your sword goes all the way in and you're not hitting any resistance.
Did we
Svind,
quench the lantern? If the lantern's still shining, I'll shine a lantern into the hole.
You can see it looks out into a large black space. Are you going to put your head right in? Or are you?
Svind, put your head in the hole.
I don't want to put my head in the hole. I want to murder and eat this dog.
But we've done half of that.
Yeah.
So go on, put your head in the hole.
Well, Monkey 1 could have a go.
Oh, yeah, we have 3 monkeys also with us.
In you go.
Is that see no evil, speak no evil, or hear no evil?
Hear no evil.
Okay.
Just pick him up by a leg and just throw him in.
You launch it more or less up into the hole. It hangs onto the lip and sort of pulls itself up and has a sort of look in. And sort of it lowers itself gingerly back down on your side. It looks like it's not keen on going any further in.
Okay, well, there's no crows in there. Otherwise he'd have gone to town. I don't want to get a bit broad here, but he went bananas.
We could try shoving the dog's head into the hole.
Oh, yeah, well, what if it doesn't come... Right. If it doesn't come back, you're not going to hear the end of it.
Vatar puts his head into the hole to have a look.
You can see you're quite high up in the wall above an enormous lake of sort of bubbling black sludge. In the centre of the lake is a high column, higher than you. This is, you don't know how high the ceiling of this place is, but there's an enormous column in the centre, and you can see that there's 2 skeletons playing the violin. That's where the noise is coming from, and the stink of sulphur is coming from this bubbling ooze at the bottom. You can see that it looks almost like this ooze has burnt or corroded its way through the stuff of the cave itself. You can see distantly through the haze, you can see there seems to be other rooms.
Okay.
Right on the far side of the sludge, but you can't really make out any details whatsoever because it's hot and it's hazy.
How shocked are we to see 2 animate skeletons?
I mean, the world's ending, reality's starting to break down.
Okay, so it's a bit of an everyday thing.
It's not an everyday thing.
But like a weekend now,
It's like oh, okay, skeletons.
Yeah.
I'm just more amazed that they're still so in tune, in harmony.
They're not particularly tuneful, it's not the best
It's
thing.
relative to skeletons. They have no ears.
No, this is true.
I'm going to start pumping from this pump and see if the liquid that comes out is the same.
It's a sort of thick, sort of muddy brown liquid.
Okay. But not the liquid that is in the lake.
No.
Okay. I will collect some.
Uh-huh.
I'll smell it first of all.
It smells sort of, I don't know, vinegary almost, sort of sour, nasty.
I'll taste a tiny bit of it again, same way as with the water.
Doesn't taste great, but you don't notice any immediate difference to yourself.
Well, I'll keep some of this, because they're collecting it for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Could just be like, oh, we have to get this nasty, horrible orange water out of the caves below. And you're just like, yum, yum, yum.
Yes, but this
Mysterious liquid from the caverns and the crypts.
This is a dog-containing room off of the dining room.
So you just see a dog in a place and assume that they're feeding it something magical.
Well,
Have you ever been drinking from a dog's bowl? Is this what you're here, Godfin?
Well, if there was a dog's bowl here, I would probably collect some of the water from it, because we only have a limited amount of water, and we don't know how long we'll have to last on it.
Godfin, you are deeply psychologically damaged, and I said this to someone living in the end times.
We just saw some skeletons, lads. This is the more pressing thing.
Oh, what's wrong with skeletons?
I like skeletons. Skeletons are nice, but they don't generally animate. They don't generally play...
They pretty much do generally animate it. We are in the big graveyard.
I suppose.
The Grossa graveyard. So there's no other doors in...
No other doors, no. The gap in the wall is far too small for you to fit through.
I suggest, Minaha, we go back to the central cavern, we go into the other door, and then I imagine that will work us towards that huge mud evil swamp with the skeletons.
Aside from abandoning our quest, that's the only choice we have.
I would absolutely abandon this quest at the drop of a hat if I didn't think I would get actually genuinely murdered.
Well, I'm very much hoping for like a door that takes us out a different exit, and then we just scarper into the mists.
I mean, I would also enjoy this, but I don't think they intend to build like tombs with more than one entrance.
I suppose, but like there's corrosion. There's mud tar corrosion. Maybe there's like a hole that's been like dug through by Ecker.
Anyway, shall we move through to the entranceway and go the other way? Svind, enjoy your dog butchering.
Thank you. I'll bring the dog with us and I'll butcher on the way.
That's quite a large, heavy dog.
I'll cut off
You're
a
going
leg.
to be... Okay, you cut off a dog's leg
Yeah.
for later.
For later.
Are you going back to the very first entranceway? I actually forgot to mention that very first corridor, the corridor that you went in, there was actually another door on the... There was a door on the right-hand side, just immediately after you walked into that corridor.
Okay, well, we'll try that, because we haven't,
we'll try that.
haven't seen there yet.
It seems to be stuck, but there's scratching noises coming from the other side.
We could try ramming it.
I actually think I'm really happy that this door is stuck and we should just continue into a different room.
Well, it could be the prince. Do we care?
The prince could be behind this door, just skirting away to bloody nails.
I think he can squint a little more.
Oh, he's been missing for a couple of weeks, was it?
It was a couple of weeks that they said, yeah.
But then if it is the prince, he's still lively and full of energy, and we have many hours until he gets tired.
Or he might be some sort of skeleton.
Well, I'll shout through the door, stand back, and I'll start just trying to break it down with my foot. I don't know.
With your lithe, supple body.
I could try chopping it down with my sword, but swords are generally quite bad at that.
I don't think I want to hear you say lithe, subtle body ever again. You're just breaking the door down with your body, with your armoured body.
Yeah.
Get out of the... That's not how you knock down a door, and I'll just
I have no idea if you're stronger than me is the thing, because
I've got
we all have a strength of +0.
I've got a +1.
Oh, you got a +1?
I've got a +1.
I should have asked you to do it.
And I'm short and wide.
Okay.
I'm wider than I am tall.
Make a strength roll. You're looking for 16 plus.
I mean, I'll do it first, because I said I would do it.
Yeah, and I'll follow up.
Nope.
Yes!
Just?
Because I got 15 +1, so 16.
I want it on record, I didn't want this to happen, and I specifically...
You said it could have been the prince.
I did not say
I said it could have been the prince.
Someone said it could have been the
I
prince.
said I'm happy to... If it is the prince, I'm happy to leave him.
Who was first through the door?
Me, because I
Svind.
knocked it down.
Svind? Yep.
Svind, you bash your way through the door. It opens with a crack as you smash your way through it.
Prince, I'm here for you.
You're enveloped by a tide of rancid flesh as a whole bunch of scabrous, emaciated figures throw themselves on you and with sore-ridden fingers attempt to strangle you.
Ladies, not all at once.
Quick, feed them the dog leg.
That's true, I'm carrying the dog leg.
Make an agility roll to
Oh no.
escape from this. 12.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Is
that
there...
an 11 on the dice?
That's
Or-
an 11 altogether. Is there any way to buff that? Is there any...
No. These emaciated hands claw around your throat and you take 4 damage.
4 damage.
D6 it.
D6. 4.
So, 0.
0 damage.
They're squeezing at the gorget.
Or the pauldrons.
This isn't a combat.
Oh.
You've taken the damage. So.
Oh, I don't get to...
Yeah, they reach round under your armour and start choking at you. There's a grim face with yellow broken teeth pressed up right against yours.
Uh-huh.
There's a whole bunch of other naked, plague-ridden human figures, all pressing to try and escape out the door.
Can we make it to combat and I can try and cut him free?
Godwin, do you think you can pull the door shut?
I mean, it's broken now.
It's broken off its hinges. You could probably close it, but the lock's burst, certainly.
Verdammt.
Okay. Combat. So do we have to roll for initiative now, or...?
D6 plus...
If it's higher...
It's a 3, so
The bad guys go.
bad guys go first. A different prisoner. There seems to be about 10 of them, by the way.
I didn't want this to happen. Don't look at me.
Another prisoner sort of squidges past and attempts to latch onto Vatar.
Oh, Vatar's backpedal.
Well, are you going to try and avoid this?
Yeah.
Agility then. 12 up.
No, passes on agility, so...
This emaciated figure throws itself at you and basically wraps its legs around your waist and its arms around your shoulders, and it begins starting to gnaw on your face.
Oh no, I don't have any armour on, lads.
Well, you made your choice.
So you take 2 damage. A third prisoner attempts to do something similar to Gotvind.
So I've got to roll defense, right?
Yeah.
That is
Yep,
15. Dodge to the side.
You dodge out the way. There's another, you think maybe 6 or 7 prisoners behind in the room trying to get out as well.
See, I mean, if they just want out, that's fine.
Yeah.
If they want to get out and eat us, that's a problem.
Godwin, verdammt, get this thing off of me!
Swin.
Is it now our turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, I'll try and cut down the one that's on Vatar. So I will use my sword, and I'll get around the side and be like, okay, and try and cut the emaciated figure and not Vatar himself. That's just 16
That's fine.
damage.
It's alright, you're not enough.
Oh, okay.
They don't have enough hit points that it's going to matter. You slice right through the spine of this poor emaciated figure and it falls off
One down.
in a spray of gore.
I will attempt to stab the one that's latched onto me in its guts.
Uh-huh.
Just a stabby sort of motion.
Yep. You ram your short sword right through into it and up into its sort of chest cavity and it drops off you.
Nice. I'll be like, get back or leave. Just leave us alone.
Form an orderly queue.
Vatar's just gonna take a shot into the room, see if he can clear it on the plate. That is a failure. That's 12.
12 is a success.
Oh yeah, it is 12 as a success.
So, what are you doing? Are you hitting with your...
So
Oh, no, shoot it with a bow.
Okay, you swiftly bring up your bow and shoot at one of them.
It is. That's 1 point.
1 point of damage. Okay, you...
I mean, if they went down without me having to roll for a sword...
Yeah, I know.
Do they have 2 hit points?
That's fine. One of them now just has 1 hit point. That's fine. These things happen.
You launch an arrow and it sticks right into one of their guts.
Not worse for the wear there.
If we have any movement left, maybe we should form a line around the entrance to the door so that they can't get out and surround us.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Can I throw my dog leg into the room?
Uh-huh.
I'll do that. I'll be like, there's a dog leg! What
The,
about that, eh?
the surviving prisoners warily step back after seeing the explosion of violence that you met their initial assault with. And then, the icing on the cake, you throw the dog leg in and they all basically fall over themselves to get at this dog leg. They're fighting amongst themselves.
Okay, well we
You can see that in this room, or should I say cells really, because it is cells, you can see that the ground's strewn with bones that have been picked clean.
A fine way to treat your rescuers, I say.
Do they seem fairly cogent, or are they zombie-ass zombies?
They're not zombies, but they've been in there a long time and any sort of sense of any shred of humanity's gone really.
Okay. What I think we should do, lads, is like put the door back on.
Yeah.
I know it won't lock, but we put it back on, and then we run away, and we tell them that there's the rest of the dogs in that other room up there in the direction that we're not going.
They seem quite busy. There's
I think we should tell them.
7 of
Yeah.
them left now.
Don't even mention the dog. Don't give them a reason to want to come out again. Just
But they will, though. But like, if we tell them to give them the information that there's a full dog, just waiting to be picked clean in a room that we're definitely not going to go back to.
While this argument is going on, I walk into the dining room again.
No. First, you're going to help us put the door back.
Up to the old man, and I say, "We've just released your prisoners. You may want to deal with that in some way."
He doesn't respond again.
And then I'll continue walking back to the entrance area.
Okay.
Okay, what do you two do?
We're putting the door back.
Put the door back, and I'll be like, there's a dog in the far room, goodbye!
And then we leg it.
Like, whether they take that information in doesn't really
No.
matter.
Okay, so you're back in the entrance hall with the small stream and the purple butterflies.
Yep. And the other door, importantly.
How do you heal in Mork Borg?
Well, there's healing potions, or you can rest.
So just potions or a short rest?
Potions, short rest or long rest.
Okay, so we don't really have the option for that now. Just good to
How
know.
close to dead are you?
I've got 4 hit points.
How did you take that?
I took 4 hit points from being...
Well, for being strangled, yeah.
And armour doesn't count, apparently.
Not in that situation. That's fair enough.
How long was a short rest in the Morky Woods?
So, catching your breath, having a drink, a short rest, that restores D4, and a fool's night's sleep restores D6. No hit points are restored when resting if you don't have any food or drink, and if you go 2 days without food at all, you start losing D4 hit points per day.
Okay.
We've got food, we've got drink.
Yep.
Do we want to do a short rest?
Yeah, let's do a short rest.
I mean, I can guard the door to see if
Yeah.
the prisoners try and strangle you again.
Sounds good.
Good thinking. Right, D4. Right, that's 1 back.
Roll me a D4.
So you took damage as well, did you?
Yeah, I got that thing leapt to my face. Ooh.
4. Is that 3? 3.
Vatar has a nasty looking bite wound in his face.
You should probably, I don't know, see a healer of some kind in case you have the plague.
I don't think that any of us are going to live long enough for that to become a material problem here.
How dare you say that I've got the plague? That's libel or slander.
Do me a favour, Godwin, could you, if I hold my face still, can you pull this rotten tooth out of my cheek?
Probably, yeah.
Will
I'll try.
Yeah, okay. Ah, you fell down. Ow. Oh, that's a boo-boo. Oh, that is a big boo-boo.
The tooth is broken and appears to be black on the inside, so I don't think that looks good. Anyway,
It's good. It's good for you. It's like exposure to all these things. It strengthens your system, makes you good against the virus.
You wouldn't eat that dog. You wouldn't eat that dog, but now you're saying all this.
Oh, I would
You would
eat.
eat the dog.
I
wouldn't eat the dog.
I would. I was
Go back and get that dog.
I think the dog's gone now, lads.
like
This is exactly what we feared.
no. I was pro eating the dog. I was just pro also not spending a lot of time dismembering a dog.
And yet now we're taking a short rest.
Yeah, well, this has medicinal benefits, and the dog thing was entirely unnecessary.
Any downsides from taking a short rest? Any attacks on our
No,
person?
no, you're fine. You're in the entranceway with the stream and the butterflies.
The butterflies,
That's fine. Yeah, no, nothing happens. After the somewhat traumatising events of the last 10 minutes, the three of you decide to reconvene back in the entranceway, sort of catch your breath, have something to eat, pause for thought before exploring the rest of the cursed den.
Well, I've paused for thought. I haven't had any. Let's just go through the door.
Okay, after you two.
And here we bring our story to a temporary halt. But please tune in next month, where our heroes will venture deeper into the cursed den. What shall they find there? Violence. It's more violence. In the meantime, if you seek more content from the Ludonauts, we have a Blue Sky, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram. You'll find the links below. Please like us or leave a comment, and if you're particularly keen, you can join us on our Patreon, where we have a wide range of interesting things for you to peruse. So until next time, farewell.